I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. So as the pro-democracy coalition and Democrats focused on issues that actually matter to the American people this past week, like jobs and improving working conditions and making sure Americans can get better pay and making housing more affordable and lowering prescription drug prices and making healthcare affordable and accessible and making education affordable and accessible, protecting our veterans, the list goes on and on. What were MAGA Republicans doing? What were they spending their time talking about? Well, they're talking about things like Legos are too woke, but the new one that they spoke a lot about this week is how artificial intelligence, and specifically ChatGPT, is part of a woke leftist plot of mind control. I don't know. I'm going to show you a clip in a second of me and my brothers, the co-founders of MeidasTouch, talking about it. But you know, you just have these MAGA Republicans each and every week creating like a new boogeyman to try to scare their base and keep them confused and in a perpetual state of fear because they don't want them knowing the truth. They don't want them knowing that their rights are being trampled on by MAGA Republican policies. So they focus on all of these issues like, oh, Dr. Seuss and Disney characters are too woke, and oh, the pronouns are coming for you, and Mr. Potato Head this, and the green M&M and the purple M&M, and all of these things, when in reality, none of that has any impact on their lives at all, and they're being distracted. So here, let's play this clip of the newest boogeyman, which is artificial intelligence, which MAGA Republicans say is a leftist woke plot. Really? Play the clip. Now there's woke Legos. There's a Lego that's missing a limb, and there's a figure that has anxiety. Oh my God. Legos are going woke. Oh, what's next? What's happening next? ChatGPT, this AI that I've seen everywhere. You're telling me that the ChatGPT, the AI, and by the way, Fox platforms this shit like it is like this is a real thing. Let's get the idiot Charlie Kirk, the biggest moron in the world. Let's have this idiot show up and talk about ChatGPT. Here, play this clip.
The Google VP of Government Affairs. So again, what is artificial intelligence if not an extended arm of, socialism worldwide?
That's right. This is going to become a woke superweapon. And I encourage your audience to take some time and play with ChatGPT, which should really be called ChatDNC, which is nothing more now than going to be an instrument of trying to make the left's takeover of the West more efficient. Go play with it. For example, say, hey, can you write an essay about Jordan Peterson or something of the like? It will say, sorry, I cannot do that.
Yeah, we're doing this
my
next
parameters
segment.
won't
we're
allow
doing
this.
some of this next segment because it is stunning when you actually start digging into it. So that's exactly what we're going to do.
You dig into it. The AI is reflecting that people who say racist things are racist, and people who say hateful things, like it is literally showing them a mirror of who they are.
Yeah, and they don't like seeing it ever. And for those who don't know, ChatGPT is an AI service. I actually do encourage everybody to go check it out. The technology is terrifying, not because it's woke, but because it's going to take away all of our jobs.
You're not kidding.
It is absolutely stunning. Like, and colleges are worried about it because you could literally write me an essay about the American Revolution in the voice of Charles Dickens. And
I just gave my midterm, Brett, though. You know what I did, though, for my midterm?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Ben, I forgot. You're
as a professor. Ben's a
Professor Ben. Whoa, I couldn't get that word out. That was
for
wild.
my midterms, I said to the class, open book, open laptop. You should have the same tools that you will have
in the real world.
In society. So you utilize those tools, Ben. But I want to make sure the answer's right. But you could utilize, if you want to use the ChatGPT, utilize it, but you utilize it in the right way.
You better know what it's saying. But no, 100%. But it's one of the most impressive, wild things. But you're exactly right. It's what goes in is what's gonna come out. And if you're asking about things that you believe in that happen to be hateful, discriminatory, glorify violence, whatever it is, then you're gonna get a result that is to that effect. And so it is very much just holding up a mirror to you. I mean, you're arguing with artificial intelligence. Just like, let's step back for a second and think about just how
here's the guys before you take a step back. One of the inputs that it will have about Fox, for example, as it scours all databases. It will have the input of the depositions of the Fox hosts. It'll have their text messages. It will have their emails, which is all in the public court filings. So if you're asking ChatGPT to write an essay about the accuracy of Fox, it is going to come back inherently and say it's not accurate. It's actually going to do a better job than the large media networks do that both sides the issue. Because, right. and this is the thing with our messaging, right? It's simple. Like, this is simple. That's why I say ChatGPT refuses to be gaslit, because it's just AI. It's just responding to what the data is. And that's why when people are like, oh, this is like a lefty show, this MeidasTouch, like a lefty, well, because I want people to have better jobs, because I want people to have healthcare, because I think that people should have education, because I believe people should have equality and be treated like with humanity and decency, because I support our troops, because I believe insurrections are bad, because I believe global pandemics are bad, that all of a sudden I'm like, oh, you're very, no, the data the data inputs would be like, whoa. Hey, maybe the radical people, as I've said before, the people who like cheer on COVID. They're like, give me the COVID. I want to sniff that COVID. Give me the COVID. That's the right wingers. The political, the insurrectionists, they're political prisoners. Secession. So if ChatGPT is just taking the data, and Fox, you put Marjorie Taylor Greene on every day to talk about a national divorce, and they're saying, does Marjorie Taylor Greene support the Constitution? They're going to say no, because the data input is a very clear answer. No, it's objective.
It's like when people would complain about, when they would do those studies, they'd be like, 90% of the press coverage about Trump is negative. It's like, yeah, he's trying to ban religions from entering the country. He started an insurrection. Of course it's going to be negative, because he's doing negative, shitty things all the time. That's what happens.
The attack on ChatGPT from the right, I just want everyone to realize this is actually one of the funniest moments that we're all living through, like at the same time. And I just want everyone to appreciate it in real time, because them attacking ChatGPT, just like you guys so eloquently pointed out, is not the own that they think it is on the libs. All they're doing is just further exposing themselves to how hateful and bigoted they truly are, because at the end of the day, the damn thing is an AI that just uses data collected from them and their experiences to form whatever, theory that it's talking about. And so them attacking this thing, all they're doing is just looking in a mirror, and they don't like what they see because they're jackoffs.
I just asked it, is Fox News good for society? I just asked ChatGPT this, and it gave me a very nuanced, like, this isn't a woke answer that it gave me. It's a little long to read the whole thing here on the show, but it says, as an AI language model, I do not hold personal opinions or beliefs. However, I can provide information that may help answer your question. Fox News is a popular cable news channel. Some people believe that Fox is beneficial for society because it provides a different perspective on the news and a counterbalance to liberal outlets. Others argue that it promotes biased and reporting and misinformation, which can be harmful to society. Critics point out that it's been known to spread conspiracy theories and false information. Additionally, some studies suggested those who watch Fox News may be more misinformed about important issues than those who do not. These can contribute to a more polarized and divided society where people are unable to agree on basic facts and beliefs. On the other hand, supporters of Fox argue that the network provides a much-needed conservative perspective in a media landscape dominated by liberal outlets. They also point out that many other news organizations have their own biases and agenda. Ultimately, whether Fox is good for society or bad for society is a matter of personal opinion. What a woke answer.
Oh, you weren't going to read it. Just because you didn't read the last sentence doesn't mean you didn't read the whole thing, Brett. And I just want to further reemphasize my point there. All this damn thing is a mirror, and they don't like their reflection. They need to look inward.
One of the things that we talk about here on the MeidasTouch Network a lot is normalcy, is decency, is compassion, and none of this performative nonsense, actually delivering results for the American people. And why we do videos about this, why we talk about this consistently, is because we need to expose all of the disinformation out there, and not just show you the disinformation and then just say, wow, well, isn't that crazy? It is. But we have to explain the reasons why it's taking place, what its intent is, how it is working and what we can do to combat the disinformation. We spend a lot of time talking about that. We spend a lot of time researching it as well and speaking to cult deprogrammers, speaking to historians, speaking to experts in the field, psychiatrists, psychologists, people who get into the minds of fascists, authoritarians, malignant narcissists, so we can unravel why they do these things. And ultimately, it's about control. It's about power. It is about the cult of Trump that they are trying to exalt. And it is to distract from the issues. And you think about it almost of a parent who speaks to their kid, right? And the kid did something wrong. And what one of the tactics that a kid does when they're confronted with, hey, you know, you did this, right? They'll try to change the topic or start talking about a lot of other things. And the psychology is somewhat similar, but far more perverse, far more disgusting, and far more directed at the end design for these MAGA Republicans of kind of complete control and seeking to undermine our confidence in the system so that they could then distract and then exalt the leader who goes, only I can fix it. I'm the only one who can fix all of these problems. Yes, they're the arsonist who rolls into town, causes the fire, shuts down the fire departments, shuts off the water, starts throwing burgers at people, gives them a bottle of water, hands them out on the street, and goes, I fixed it, I solved it, when they were the ones who created the problem, and get all distracted by all this other stuff. Don't pay attention to jobs and infrastructure and supporting our allies and uniting global communities against fascism and authoritarianism. No, it's a lot of sleight of hand here. In this case, lots of disinformation. We'll keep calling it out here. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We are on our way to 1 million subscribers thanks to your incredible support. So please hit the subscribe button right now. In addition, check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. I think you'll love the exclusive content on our Patreon. Most importantly, it helps grow this independent media platform. Thanks so much for watching this. And remember, hit subscribe on our YouTube channel as we march to 1 million subscribers in March.
Love this video? Then you'll love the MeidasTouch podcast. Listen as my brothers and I break down the latest news and chat with top political leaders on the fastest growing pro-democracy podcast in the world. New episodes drop every Tuesday and Friday. Add the MeidasTouch podcast right now wherever you listen to your podcasts.